We are different. I was like, no, I don't think. I think the
just
VO. It's just the VO.
It's
not like they make a different sound for a Korean dash. And here we are, getting into picks and bans. Reminder, it's day one. We're testing the waters on both sides, see what Astralis can do with their new man in the mid lane. Leader returning from his time abroad on the opposite side, Koi. Not quite able to live up to the expectations of former champions in the winter split, but maybe they can do it this time around. It is just one game, so we'll see what level both squads, again, are coming in at.
Eyes on Leader. We'll see what he pulls out. Hasn't played at all this year, I believe. We'll see what he can pull out in the LEC here with Astralis. He's known for his melee champs. You know, I think his most played champs are like Akali, Aurelia, Sylas. He's a Yasuo one-trick back in the days, I believe, as well. So hopefully we get to see him cook up a little bit of spice in the mid lane. No picture on the back wall from him, though, so it's a good meme if he does nothing in their 4v5, you know?
Yep, there you go. Nice Kano just giving it away for free.
Nice little copy pasta. Bans coming in, Sejuani, Ashe, Rakan, Annie, Caitlyn. Patch changes have swapped up the bot lane a little bit. Vara's still up.
I like the Caitlyn bans coming through. Trimby, obviously, one of the more proficient players in our league when it comes to range supports. Karma ban also coming out, so maybe more engage focus on the bottom side. Finn opting for the early Elise. Now, this wasn't something that I particularly loved for 1-1-3 in the previous split. He's mostly still, I think, found comfort on things like Viego, if he goes out of meta, but obviously still a powerful pick, obviously still a super strong early game champion.
See what he can do in the early stages. I think he had that fantastic Sejuani game where he dominated the early game.
Yep.
Last split, looks like Koi are going to go for the Zeri shenanigans. Could go Zeri jungle here and then Lulu on 3 if you don't want to avoid any kind of counter picks.
Zeri jungle would be very bold.
Zeri jungle would be played. I've actually played Zeri jungle. Clear is not too bad.
Really?
Yeah. I think most junglers these days, the clear is just not bad.
Is that reportable? Or is that, are you cooking or are you...
It wasn't negative gaming.
Oh, okay.
It was just a happy little accident.
Just not sure.
Yeah,
you know.
That's what I like to call it. You gotta think the glass is half full.
Because Yasuo jungle is griefing. Wasn't that one hard?
I played that one too. It was not too bad. I was cooking up when I was a pro.
You're a much better player than I am.
Urgot jungle was my
I remember that one. Shout out to Whippo.
Yeah. Xayah Nautilus instantly picked up, so...
It was you, actually.
It was me, yeah. They could go Zeri Braum here, just try to murder bot side and just counter-pick this Nautilus. Or they could opt into a Lulu anyway.
And I think the big focus for this game, even with Leader coming back and us wanting to see what he's going to pull out, if it will still be these melee comfort picks, is bottom lane, because Kave Jonghoon were, despite Astralis, low expectations at the start of the season, one of our best performing bot lanes across the entire split, helping Astralis post record results in the previous season. And Koi, debating on the Braum, I thought they might want to try to take the back foot there, but going for Renata, kind of the middle ground between ranged and engaged supports.
Bailout helps a lot against Nautilus when he goes for that single target, because it's very likely they'll get a kill with the Nautilus hook ult. You know, chain CC is strong enough so that you'll be able to follow up in time. I'm looking at Astralis for bot dives. When you have a ranged support in an enemy team and you're playing melee support Elise, if you can threaten some kind of dive or get a wave in, that's going to be a quick kill. So we'll see if they can execute on it. So jungle and bot likely picked up for both sides here. Gragas could be a flex. I don't see Larson as much of a Gragas player, but we'll see what with Demonstall. Yeah, Z-Ban. That's Leader. That's Leader for you. Something he would want to play, something he would want to bust out. And I think that's exciting because I feel like Leader's champion pool right now, you know, you've got things like the Sylas and Akali, which are the AP assassins, but it does lean a little bit into AD heavy champions. You know, if you play something like Aurelia or Yasuo or even Zed or Yone, having an AP jungler helps with that balance of damage.
And I think that is a really good argument as to why Astralis would prioritize Elise here. Not that she's not a champion you can't prioritize, just that it makes a lot more sense when you take in the context of the fact that Leader very often likes to play AD champions in the mid lane.
Yep.
But that is the biggest question in this draft, ultimately, is what will Leader play? Will it be a return to the comfort that we've seen in the past? Will this be a new page in Leader's story? Will he show us something else?
I was watching a little bit of Champions Queue. I think it was Leader playing Zed. He was popping off a little bit, so I think he stuck to his old ways a little bit. Azir ban coming in. See what Koi opts for here. It's a bit hard because you kind of kill the Gragas flex. Jungle would be the easiest to keep the solo lane hidden because you want to have value counter on solo lane, obviously, because they've shown their jungler. So last time I saw Malrang's Lee Sin, I'm not sure if he played it this split, but I remember his electrocute Lee Sin at Worlds. Oof. It was a bit dirty.
A bit stinky.
He was going like Night's Vow first item.
Yep.
This is the new Malrang. Old Malrang, whack. New Malrang, that's where it's at. We'll see what he can pull off. I think he's so good at things
Old Malrang, but I will say, we prepped a graphic specifically for Malrang's Jarvan because it has been seeing play. And so I'm kind of sad not to see his Jarvan, even if I do understand why you'd pick Lee Sin here.
Yeah, Lee Sin's just so strong now. I think it's the highest win rate jungler in solo queue as well. Not sure if it is on this patch, but there's a Renekton, so there's...
Is it a flex?
I think Leader can play it. I think he has played it before. Yeah, I'm looking here. He's got a couple of Renekton games, 100% win rate, 3 games in the ERLs. Sylas could be something he goes for. He's just going through Leader's champ pool here. What's his comfort, I would say? What's the one thing that Leader will feel the most comfortable on here in his first game with Astralis in this new roster?
You got a pretty powerful dive duo on the top side. I like having Yone as it has a bit of safety. Rise.
We've hyped up all these melee champs and he's gone for a roamer. And I think the importance of the Rise is he will get mid push and he will roam top. And that's the exact plan that Astralis want to go for. And it can also work towards bot side as well because you have a Nautilus lane. So they can look for dives on either side here and they need something to move around the map. Talia could have worked, but a bit dangerous. The blind pick perhaps is what Koi is, what Astralis is thinking. But it's going to be a Gragas mid here for Larssen.
All right. Gragas mid, obviously a lot of innate built-in sustain, pretty solid wave clear, and can survive a lot of the early damage that can come out from a Rise. See how the matchup shapes up as we get later and later into the game. But early game, Elise Renekton top side. You cut Nautilus Xayah on the bot side. There is even the empowered Rune Prison coming into the Rise. There is insane CC setup on the side of Astralis to try to get these early kills down. And maybe skirmishes can go in the favor of Koi, but they got to play safe in this early game.
They do. If they can weather the early game storm, I think Koi can run away with it. Zeri Renata will be so powerful in these later stage team fights, and Cassante is going to be a great beefy front line. But yeah, it's Astralis all the way to these early stages. But Malrang's so creative that he can shut down your plays, you know. When a jungler starts on like top side red, you expect them to path down slowly, but then you get level 2 gank top, and now all of a sudden your top play is just falling apart. That's the thing that Malrang does, is he does the unexpected. So they need to, as much as they need to play for this early game, they need to be very careful as to how Malrang will stop their plan, because he will. Yep. There's no doubt in my mind he will do something to try to put a spanner in the works.
And it's a really good call out, because when you look at the lanes that they can play for,
I hate Teemo on the
That's an OG hater wristband. That's respectable. That's before Yuumi was even a champion. Good on you, friend. Back when hating a champion meant just Teemo.
I love it how the hate's gone from Teemo to Yuumi, but if Teemo gets picked now, it's exciting.
Yeah. Do you think the person who made Yuumi was actually just a really big Teemo fan and was just like, I will save
something
Teemo?
really annoying. Another devil champ. I don't know why.
I'm not. That person gets enough shade. I don't want to throw the Yuumi
I don't know why there's no
under the
devil
bus.
Yuumi skin. I feel like
that's true.
Because she will be returning soon.
I hope everyone has fun too. That's a great sign. Positivity. Let's get into it. Let's see who has more fun. Probably the winners.
Well, Matt didn't have fun last game. Let's see if either of these teams can have a bit more fun.
They were laughing, though.
They were laughing. It was funny. Sometimes you gotta laugh at the pain. And that's what they did indeed. Larssen showing us his moves.
Hey, dance on him. Okay, so, quick aside. You talked about it. The bailout for Renata makes dives, especially, more difficult. You got some CC immunity on the top side for Shigenda.
Yep.
Makes dives harder. So, execution going to be big for Astralis. Even if they have the tools, they still need to execute cleanly or it'll fall apart very quickly. And I think you highlighted it. Malrang, the guy that we have to watch here. At least we know she needs to get something done in the early game. If Malrang can mitigate that, it takes away the vast majority of this champion's power.
It does indeed, and we'll see what Malrang starts on. I think Raptor start with E is always the nicest pathing for Lee Sin when it comes to solo starting. Leader's looking for a little bit of vision there. Don't know if he dropped the ward down. Yes, he did. Looks like Malrang's going to go towards the bot side. Are they invading? No, they're not. Thought with the hover they would. He's going to start Wolves instead, by the looks of it. Maybe some kind of Wolves red Krug shenanigans, or try to include Gromp. And 113 is going to solo start on the red. Oh yeah, the 113 emote spam is back.
What's the emote this time?
I think it was an Ahri. I'll have to see it again. Let's keep the camera there. I'm sure it'll come out in a second. Yep, it's the Ahri one. Is that the one he used last split as well? I think it is. I think it might just be. But I would love some kind of red Krugs Raptors here from 113 to focus then on the bot side of the map. Help out his bot lane, see if they can try to look for those dives or setups. Top side also works, both explosive side lanes.
I'm just waiting. Keeping an eye, tracking the early game Lee Sin pathing. Because for right now, not a whole lot happening. I think kind of as expected at level 1, Zai can do a lot to gain control of the lane, especially if he's able to hit you with the double daggers. Gonna zone you off the creeps. Leader doing well into Larssen. I think once level 3 comes around for the Gragas, things get a lot easier, just has access to more abilities. I think static 8-second cooldown on the passive, and it's gonna give you a decent amount of health. So in the long run, Gragas can do a lot to just out-sustain in this lane.
Yeah, just the early stages, he has to give out the push. This is it right here. This is the force they need to do.
Follow-up, immediate root gonna come through. Good damage onto Trimby. Again, they have cleanse, they have heal, defensive sums. Not a whole lot going to come from it quite yet, but getting some pots out from Trimby.
There's pings on 113. I wonder if they just saw him there. I think Koi have a little bit of information as to where the Elise is.
Oh, it's just kind of sniffing the play out.
He's trying to counter gank. I think 113 thinks that Malrang's probably going to look for a gank here. He's playing through mid to make sure they're fine. Not even going towards the bot side of the map, just constantly hovering.
Pull back, good damage. Ignite now ticking down. Trimby flashing out of safety first. Blood! Clean play from Astralis. Trimby overconfident there. Good play from Astralis as well to focus the member who has heal, but not the member who has cleanse.
They can look for more here. Hook, oh my god!
Another one, Jonghoon does not miss. Cleanse out to safety. Will it be enough? It looks like it is. Comp. Stepping forward, stepping back.
Okay. Fight on top side. Leader might be in trouble.
Malrang now going in. Call him Little Uzi Vert because he just wants to rock, but he is getting knocked down.
Repel.
Repel out, flash over the wall.
Flash.
Flash to safety. Larson there. Great escape by Malrang.
Yeah, 113 had to commit the flash over the wall initially in that play, so Malrang has enough tools to get out. Leader can't get the kill. But already off to a great start here, the Astralis lineup. I mean, it was their bot lane, which was their shining light throughout winter, and we're seeing it here again. 2v2 killing Trimby and Comp, who struggled throughout the regular season, but then in playoffs bounced back and looked like they were in their old form of last year, but already off to a bad start.
Yeah, bit of a struggle. Hard to talk with the polka music from Gragas playing in the background, won't lie to you. But I think it is such a good call out. When we look at Koi overall, their bot lane was one of their strongest points when they were winning. And at times in the previous season, it was incredibly strong as well. Best of ones, though, for this team were so rough in the regular season. It was a struggle. Yes, they still put up decent damage numbers, but they were consistently falling behind. And I think now, with another difficult start in the best of one stage, you kind of have to start to ask for more from this Koi bottom lane. And yes, Astralis are tough competition, but you just can't afford to fall flat in these best of ones.
Yeah, massive praise to Jonghoon so far in this lane. He's just hitting such good hooks onto, well, again, try to do the carrier there where you auto-attack and then Q at the same time, so it looks like a weird buffer. Yep. But they have bot push. I think they need to start, yeah, exactly. Come down here, look for these dives. No cleanse, no flash. This is an easy setup. Malrang has to cover it. Leader's on the way down as well. They might have to back off of tower because it's a 4v3. I think they can commit to a 4v3 dive here. Fight on top side as well. Finn.
Will work. Finn, excellent follow-up damage here. Shigenda getting chunked low.
What's happening?
But again, I think we need to look back bot lane for the dive. Thank you, observers. Larson now coming down.
They can look for Larson here.
Larson caught up, can try to body slam at safety, but they're just so fast. He's going back into 113. 113 going up, coming down. Larson now gets the cocoon connecting, has to run out to safety, forced to flash. So the dive will fizzle, but at the cost of most of Larson's health bar and his flash.
So much pressure down here. 113 is level 3 at 5 minutes. He's not looking for camps, not looking for XP, and Malrang's the one who has to match it. He's giving him a taste of his own medicine.
I was going to say, this is very, familiar. Shoes on the other foot. Now 113 is the Malrang.
They want to dive mid matchup. They want to dive mid now as well. They look at leader. He's going to fast push the wave.
Oh,
Will they see Malrang though? I think the hook might go into Malrang, or they just wait for him to walk past.
Wait, he walked out of the bush. Oh, wait, no, Malrang's still trying to leap out to safety here. He's going to get hooked up. He's going to get knocked down. Ignite now ticking. There's nowhere for him to go. He has no flash because of the previous play. The shield comes out, but it is too little. Will not be enough here. Going up, now coming back to safety, though. 113 is caught out. Leader now ready to port him out to safety. Can they get him out? The great escape! The Houdini moment, Leader. High five and his jungler on the way out. Excellent.
Evacuate the jungler. Manages to get 113 out. It's so close. One auto from Larson. He's dead. Bit of a blunder from the Elise there, but yeah, Leader's there to save the day. Such a good early game from Astralis. Malrang had no ward, so he couldn't ward jump over the wall. Didn't have flash either, so as much as Lee Sin's a mobile champ, there was no way out of here. Just runs at him. Calls to support. Yeah, Malrang can't ward jump. He doesn't have a ward, so he ends up dying. The first person he can look for is Larson, but then he gets stunned up. Decides to queue in, use the shield, try to turn the fight back, but yeah. Saving Private 113.
Yeah, can't afford to go down in the cask. Will die anyway, and then here you go. Realm warp out to safety.
And the emote drop.
Winks at him as he leaves. I wish he didn't emote spam, because then it would have been so good when he finally did wink, because he just winks at everything. But that was the correct wink timing.
I think Leader's got emotes on and he sees his jungler spamming it a lot.
Oh, you have to. There's no way you play with this guy and you have his emotes on. Yeah. You mute your own teammates' emotes.
Really? I don't think you just keep it.
Really?
Actually, no, because when you're losing and you're spamming it, it's probably frustrating.
You're in a losing scrim, you're getting the winky face.
Just getting ace and then your jungler's doing that.
Yeah.
Turn that off. Yeah. But gold's it's even between the junglers. XP is also in Malrang's favor, but the pressure of the map is in Astralis' favor, and that's the key difference here. The gold really isn't the thing you need to look at. It's the vision, it's the setup, it's the objectives.
One, I think, again, that Kami being 1,000 gold ahead at this point makes the mid game so very easy. If they can break open bot lane, that's difficult.
It's annoying.
0.7. Now, Malrang is backing, so there's no threat of a steal here, so it's just wasted time. Not really going to cost them much past that. Finally, the dragon will drop. Winky face.
Winky face?
Winky face.
There it is. I just saw it at the top of the screen.
Yep.
Sweep out their vision, keep threatening bot dives. What does that do? That makes Malrang have to hover around bot side, just pulling all this pressure down. Leader constantly hovering too, and that allows the melee support lane to push in the Renata and get plates.
Watching now, seeing if they're going to go for any greater plays here. I think action in general is going to slow down a bit. You see Fendi on the top side catching a wave. 113 still shadowing. Has to farm a little bit in his own jungle.
Good look at the root.
Wants to full commit to this. Stun is going to connect. Interrupts the dash out. So Larssen just taking a huge chunk out of the health bar.
Can you imagine the Elise just walks in your lane, takes 20% of your health, and just runs away with a wink emote? It's just...
Again,
be so tilted.
It's just a masterclass in emote usage.
We talk about it all the time, don't we? Why does some other players have to pick this up, surely?
You would think
Just
so.
get in their heads.
You would think so.
They're going to get a Herald for free. Dragon's down. They're pushing lanes everywhere. And I think when it comes to Astralis last bit, I think the pressure point they lacked was mid lane. As much as Diora was having some decent moments in teamfights, the lane phase itself, some of the champion pool, it was a bit of a struggle. But now 113 feels like it's only one game, right? But it looks like the cohesion between the two is on point, hovering to the right sides together, constantly making sure he's behind his mid laner in case there's any shenanigans going on. Malrang's looking for these ganks.
And again, it's a single game at the start of a a pretty quick season, but positive indicators like this are big, especially when Astralis again are coming off of their best season. Hoping to see more from this team, and we know that they're hoping to make it to the best of 3 stage. Obviously, competition is only getting tighter as we move further in the year, but right now, solid start. Bot lane still looking strong. As you said, mid-jungle looking stronger. So overall, very positive indicators. And right now, it's not an insurmountable goal difference, certainly, but got the first dragon. Got Kabi very far ahead. I want to see them leverage Kabi. Once he gets that Gale Force, I want to see some more plays here because Elise showing up and stealing 20% of your health is only a sick play for like the first 10, 12 minutes of the game. After that, it's going to feel kind of lackluster.
It is. A lot of Ruby Crystals on Koi. Just wanted to point that out. A lot of red. A lot of health. I feel like mid laners have just become so tanky on the recent patches because of Rod of Ages. It's so hard to one-shot them anymore, and anyone who can't build Rod of Ages isn't really meta, other than champs like Azir for perhaps or Victor, these control meters. He's on a ward here, Leader.
Leader, still going to build Rod of Ages, gets knocked back. Flash coming out just in time.
Good flash. I think as soon as the barrel lands and knocks him back, Malrang will then kick him towards tower or something along those lines. There's no real way to flash out there.
Yep. Ooh, excellent kick now coming in. Malrang looking for the repeat play. Getting rooted, though. Has no follow-up. That sucks. Already used the kick, of course, so there wasn't really an angle to continue this exchange, but could have burned the control ward to try to close the gap.
That does suck. Finn missed the cannon, but he got a nice trade in.
Shigana going for the pullback on the wave. Finn, is he going to try to go for a dive here? Shigana does have ulti. I think this is a little over-aggressive.
Long cooldown on his W. I think the wave will die. It's 5 seconds. Yeah, wave's dead. Doesn't have to stun. But yeah, Shigana's going to have to base and TP back. So pushing lanes. We've calmed down a bit on the bot side of the map in terms of roaming down there. It's all been about keeping leaders safe. And good job so far by 113.
Yeah, and again, Kabe holding on to his gold lead because of, it looks like, plates as well as the kill, because the CS discrepancy, only about 15 right now. Checking the plates. They're checking the plates. Is he right? Yep, it's the plates.
There's the plates.
It's eating good.
Yes, Rod of Ages picked up for Leader. Drake's up in 1 minute 30. Rinse and repeat here for
Gale
Astralis.
Force up. Gore Drinker up. Ooh,
yeah,
their skirmish, so strong right now.
Their mid-game is really strong as well here. Astralis has comped really mid-game heavy. Ryze, Elise, Nautilus. Could look for some kind of...
Ooh, the same
I think
brush.
they know they're there. They're pinging that brush.
Same brush. Time to get out. Jig is up. Time to go. Again, Leader.
Just playing it safe.
There it is.
Using the evac device. Looking for a bit of vision on this bot side. It's a bit tense, isn't it? Because Koi want to control this bot side.
Yeah, we're like so ready for a fight to break out. Both of us are just play-by-play casting. They're moving. They're walking towards each other.
They're going to right-click down.
They're going to right-click. Maybe this is the right click. But
cannon.
That is the tension of this game.
Trimby.
It's a very close game, and now Trimby again fishing for a play.
Trimby. Leader.
Big flash in, handshake. Now getting kicked back. Do they have enough CC to lock him down? It looks like the damage is now finally coming in. Bail out. They're going to hope that they hit each other. The Rise finally knocked back. Leader should fall here. Takes a decent amount of time, but they'll finally knock Leader down.
Not a lot of damage is there from Koi. That took a while to get the kill. They're lucky that Younghoon hooked the wall to make sure that he can get to bot faster. Otherwise, they maybe could have turned that. No level 6 just yet on the Nautilus. That's the issue that they have in terms of giving up bot lane and roaming around. Looking for a dive here. Nope, just gonna pop the Herald.
Should be a tower take.
Yeah, it needs to get a little bit lower and it should be a tower take.
Malrang has ult, but Trimby doesn't have ult, which means there's not really enough tools to stop this push from coming through.
He has the kick, but they're gonna back away. Yeah, tower's down, push in. Kobe is 1.5k gold up. And I think they can start to move their bot lane around the map, but Dragon spawning right now. Leader's coming back onto the map, and with the ultimates, that should be an easy pickup objective, and then they might look to lane swap.
Yeah. Larson gonna walk over here.
Oh, Malrang stopped his base. Are they gonna try to fight this?
Is this a spectator Drake, or are they gonna commit? It looks like they are gonna commit. Knockback, they can take the Nautilus out before the fight even starts. It's gonna be big, but the heal comes in. The ulti goes down. 1-1-3 off to the backside. Kobbe is massive, has the Gale Force as well. Wants to finish the kill, but Comp is getting out of there. Flash in from Larson, or flash out rather from 1-1-3. Koi buying more time. Astralis, I don't think they can restart this one.
Younghun hooking in on 15-20% HP. Doesn't get his target. Larson dashes out. Managed to get a couple summoners out of Astralis and a couple of ults, but that's about it. Finn constantly trading on this top side, has a shutdown of his own, just playing in isolation. Yep. Gold difference coming from just platings and global golds from that single tower. And Leader's going to go ahead and solo his blue buff. If Leader was around, I think they could have turned that fight even harder there, Astralis, but it was a 3v4 and they managed to stop the engage from Koi, who are yet to base.
Yeah, difficult position right now for Comp. Would love to get an item under his belt. Hard to fight Kobbe. Interesting game thus far. Pretty quiet, but again, credit to 1-1-3 for having so much impact in the early game. A lot of close exchanges, a lot of it coming down to small mechanical skill moments where Leader's setting up good ultimates. They're able to land the necessary skill shots. Only one kill picked up for Koi so far, and as you highlighted, because of the Roa, because of a lot of these beefier mid laners, with Roa being so strong, it took them a year to kill that Rise. Will get easier as they get more items. I need to see more of those same picks, but it's a tough game right now for Koi. Not a lot of great angles to attack.
No, and there's the Dragon pickup from Astralis. Kobbe still yet to base, but they're back out on the map. Malrang's up towards the top side. Base coming through now. What do they do with Kobbe? Do they just send him towards top here? Gets a little bit awkward, because just leaving your Xayah to push out bot waves doesn't really net you anything on the map. I think they need to base with Finn, send him bot, put the Xayah top, and then start playing heavy top side with TP. Herald spawning as well. I think that's the next plan of attack here for Astralis. We'll see how Koi respond, because Comp's just pushed out bot. Needs to match this as soon as possible. Look for those 4v4s.
Yeah, what a lane assignment's going to be. As predicted, Finn now going to the bottom lane. Looks like Rise going top. I like this play because there's so much armor coming in from Shigenda, but no MR whatsoever. Kobbe, of course, decent wave clear in the mid lane, but we'll see. What does Astralis want to do?
Yeah, they want to play for this mid push. They're late to the wave, so that gives Koi the window to look for the objective straight away. And they're going to start it up. I don't think Astralis will give this one away easy. There's a nice ward there on the top right. Yeah, nice TP there from Finn. Here comes the fight. We'll see if they can engage this. They don't have that much engaged. Nautilus hook goes wide. Coming
in. Leader is going to take it just a full front to back here. This could be big for Trimby. They're able to take the Herald. Koi. Finn already ulting on the backside. Looks to lock down Trimby. Is going to get caught up there briefly now. That's going to be a massive hostile takeover, and instantly they're into the meat grinder. Comp still standing for now. The bailout coming in, but he cannot find a kill, or can he? Will not get it in the end. Kobbe going massive here, but Koi get the Drake and grab 2 kills. Still a positive trade for them overall.
Can Larson get out? He has E up. Dashed over the wall, has flash 2. He should be fine. Astralis a little bit too trigger happy there. Finn flash W's in, yes. But then Leader also flashes into a Renata ult and just dies, so going too deep. I think the peel that Koi have is pretty strong with things like the shield bow, the Renata ult, but we'll see this again. Finn's invested the TP, may as well take the fight. Comes in, I think he stuns Comp here, but he dashes as he gets stunned, so he gets blocked by the rest of his team. Then Leader tries to get the root and he gets it, but he only gets a small combo off and then knockback on the right side there. 1-1-3 and Kobbe get pushed back. Disengage from Koi is strong, bailout buys enough time. And the thing is, when Koi walk into the Xayah, that's when Kobbe can start dealing damage. But if his team goes too deep, there's really not much he can do.
Yeah, good call out. I'm surprised they didn't try to burst through Trimby, but Comp obviously the priority target there. Doesn't have flash now for the next fight, but will have the cleanse. Finn going in, big damage. Larson body blocked. He cannot body slam out to safety, but the phase rush.
Later.
Zooming
straight out of there. So
I did not know that drunk people could run that fast. Credit to Larson. Learning something every day.
In a straight line as well. Not even wiggling.
Cops everywhere. Mind blown. How does he do it?
Someone interview that guy. Breathalyzer, check him out. What is going on? Larson's running laps around this map. He's going to have to base and TP back, though. Does he TP top? Doesn't know where the Elise is. Yeah, he's just going to do it anyway. You can see Trimby's ready to cover on the mid, running towards top side. And yeah, they still have this Herald to work with.
And Larson, pretty beefy boy. You can see Leader can get a bit of poke down, but Larson just going to heal up next time the Happy Hour passive is available. All right, game. Still 2K advantage to Astralis. They haven't really been able to leverage Kobbe too much yet. They had that one failed fight around the Dragon, where they were slowed down a bit on the take, and then the fight around the Herald also not going in their favor. So now we kind of have to look at Malrang to see what he's going to do with this Herald, what they can take. It is second Herald, so no plates, but could maybe look to break open the mid lane or try to extend the side lane advantage.
No shield bow on Comp yet, actually. I thought he had it for that Herald fight. He's going to pick it up now in base, so can start playing a little bit more up, and I think top side is where both these teams need to focus. Astralis want to get that top tier one. Leader's a bit scared, needs to wait for 1-1-3. They have the mid push. They could look to hit the tower, but they're going to hover instead. No Drake for the next 1 minute 30 seconds. No hook on Younghoon. Would love to throw it out onto Trimby there. But good showing from Astralis here in this early game. Looks like they're snowballing quite calmly, not overextending too deep. Just that one fight that's something you just reflect on straight away. You're like, well, too deep. We're short range champs, Renekton Rise. Maybe we should let them go. Oh,
flash in, going forward. Knock up, immediate combo comes out. The chain CC is there. Wow. Trimby not even gonna get a chance to ult. Ticking, ignite. Will it be? No!
Bone plating right there. That's the value. Manages to live. Leader looked a little bit frustrated there on the comms. They'll get mid tower from this, but he needs someone to hover his top side so they can get top tier one. Need to move up here, but it looks like they're going to Drake instead. But a really good play there from Younghoon. Has Hex Flash anyway.
Yep.
The Renata without Flash makes her a little bit more vulnerable in these fights. And I think they're just going to reset here and set up that dragon. So good play there. Younghoon is just stand out this game for me.
Yeah, I think really clean. I mean, those hooks on the bottom side are really like, no disrespect to Kabe, of course, but those are the catalysts that ultimately gave him his massive advantage and are now finding them these picks that have allowed them to break open the mid lane tower. Good play, and you can see why Nautilus is so often a priority pick, or at least engaged champions are so often a priority pick for Younghoon. Now, Herald's gonna come in. Bomba in the mid lane. So something positive, of course, for Koi. They are able to break a tower, still holding at that 2K deficit is
efficiency.
Efficiency.
None of that walking.
No.
Just flash. Forehead.
Wow.
Just flash. That's
Thank
the
you.
advice I got you for clearing
Analyst
wards.
of the year, everybody.
Also, don't forget to ping your wards.
Oh, yeah. Extra money.
+5.
+5.
Did they spot Astralis there on the ward expert? Looks like Shigenda's playing it safe anyway.
Full value.
Sweeping it up, emoting it up, walking into river. Malrang's looking for a little bit of information. Human ward. Sees them start it up, but comps on red buff. Leader's TPing bot.
They're fully committing, it feels like, to a dragon win condition here.
Bit confused by that TP. He must think that he's getting dove. He must think that 4 of my team are bot. They're probably topside looking for a dive on me. I haven't seen Malrang yet, or something along those lines.
I think that's a fair call out. And ultimately, while we'll look back at that and go, hey, questionable TP, it would have been the right play. Had that been the sequence that was coming out, he now gets to sustain bottom pressure, and the cost of that is ultimately going to be that 2 waves on the top side, maybe a bit of damage on the tower as well, which sucks to lose, but better than losing your life, and you still get the dragon.
So when they were doing dragon, there was a lot of danger pings by Astralis in their own topside jungle, so I think they were pretty convinced that dive was coming. A lot of respect there to Koi.
Yep.
If they just played the gamble mode there and just took the waves anyway, they're winning on both sides, and that's unheard of. So Astralis now just going to walk in, a lot of respect, playing it patiently, and I think props to them because they've got a 2-item Xayah, no need to overforce, no need to give over any advantages on these cross maps.
Wow.
Just play it safe and they'll get this top tower if they're just patient. Need to be careful here. Leader's quite far away, has the Realm Warp. And again, Finn could try to get this top tower here, and when they see Malrang, it could TP bot.
Going in, Blast Cone there if they can try to find the disengage. Big damage onto Finn. Ignite now thinking they will finish the job. Clean pick onto the mid laner of Koi from Astralis.
And no Azir, no Victor here for Larssen, so when it comes to the mid to late game, it's on Comp to carry through these fights with Shigenda in front of him. Larsen's just a disruptor. Kobe is a bit further ahead right now though, and they could start Baron here actually. With Larssen down 25, they've got vision on top side jungle, tops pushed in, mids pushed in. Could look for a bait, could look for some kind of mistake out of Koi here.
Navori, excellent damage on the Baron as well. Finn trying to find the fight for now is very powerful. Leader coming in through. They've just got a 3-man on the Baron. They can zone the rest of Koi away. Backing in, coming now from Shigenda, but he can't TP him. This fight could be too late. Ulti going in could be big, but they're going up, they're going over. They want to stick to the fight. It's only 1-1-3 left on the Baron, and Shigenda immediately leaping in. They will lose the Baron, but they will find the pick.
Lars TP.
I think Astralis kind of getting lost in the heat of the moment there. They could have just kept on the Baron.
Yeah, they were scared that Koi was going to try to stop them. They can disrupt it pretty easily. Shigenda was TPing behind them, so I think they realized there's a TP behind us, let's go forwards. All of them over the wall. They committed a lot for that. They committed 3 flashes for a kill onto Trimby and no objective. They're going to lose all their topside pressure and they're going to get pushed in mid, so it's not worth it overall, but it's a kill, and at least it didn't flip on his head. So what happened here is Finn gets caught. I think they realized that if you look on the bottom left, their Nash damage is not that good because Kobe will invest in E here with a lot of feathers and it's still 6k. So then they say, you know what, there's a TP on our left, let's go forwards here, leaders around. Maybe we can get a kill straight onto comp, everyone commit. Didn't get as much as maybe they would want. 1-1-3 stuck in the pit, then he has to flash out. And as much as they stayed together and they played it and executed it as well as they could when it comes to the turn and they exit together, the actual end reward is not that great.
Now Larson breaking down a tower. Again, holding at this 2k gold difference. 3 dragons stacked in favor of Astralis. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, a little bit less now left on that timer until Ocean Soul will be on the table. But overall, I think the big piece of good news is that Comp will not have Flash in that next exchange. Maybe something they can capitalize on, even if they did burn so many resources. Kobbe also won't have Flash, but of course has the luxury of the Gale Force and is Xayah, so...
Yeah, I mean, the reality of this game is Astralis have so many ways to win it. They just need to not fumble them over and over again. 2 minutes on Soul. You can just play for that. Don't even need to sweat around this Baron. No need to overforce it or have a threat of a steal. Just keep pushing these lanes. Don't make a mistake. Koi's engage is not that good. I mean, the only real engage they can have is a body slam flash, which is on cooldown, and Malrang flanking. So track the leads in, keep the lanes in, wait for this dragon, and they should be sailing. Anyone walks into this river to try to contest them, just hook them, and start the fight front to back, make sure the Xayah is safe. But it looks like they are going to go towards Baron. Shigenda no TP, Finn has it, and he sees Malrang on Wolves. This could be a trigger pulled on the Nash.
They need leader here if they want to have enough damage. Last Whisper, not enough difference to really speed up that Baron too much.
It's going to go top and just push in Larson, make sure these waves stay under this tower.
Feels like they're still just playing for the pick here as leader's starting to win out very much in the 1v1.
Yeah, 1 minute on the Dragon. And I think Koi have 2 options here. 1, fight the Soul. 2, try to go Nash as they go towards Dragon and see if Astralis make a mistake in the juggle, in the dance of objectives.
But they don't do damage.
They don't. They really don't.
Just have comp. Their sustained damage is terrible.
Yeah.
It's really hard for them to try to trade objectives here.
They need one more item on this area. Shigenda's going to get chunked out a lot here.
Shigenda, that is so much lockdown. Burning through that health bar. Forced to use the Zhonj rather than stopwatch. Thank you.
Stopwatch the Cocoon. 30 seconds. Just keep them here. Astralis, yeah, it's good what they're doing. It's very LCK-esque. Don't make any mistakes. Just keep them under their towers. Wait for objectives.
Finn crashing the bot wave as well. So just by contesting this mid wave, Koi are losing 100, maybe 200 gold by the time someone finally shows up here, depending on how quickly they actually want to come for that one.
They have to fight here soon, Koi. They need to get into this river somehow. Malrang sitting on a pink. Hook.
Into the wall. Not ideal. Yonghoon now caught out. Shigenda on the backside.
Oh, it's tough.
Full 5v5. Koi just committing essentially for the ARAM, giving up so much CS on the bottom lane just so they can match Astralis even with the lead that they have.
Any hook hits and someone's getting chunked out. Yonghoon's going to pop the ult to hit the backline as well to disrupt them. Koi needs to get in this river. They have 1 pink ward to work with. Larson trying to find something. Shigenda's off to the side. Finn zoning him away. Going to dash in here. So it looks like they're going to go through this choke here, Koi. This is their avenue into the river. See if Yonghoon goes for the hook. I think he can look for a turn here. Larson just used the E.
Really big patience now. Larson has he overextended here. Where's the engage going to go? Ulti now coming out. They're just going to walk away.
Patience. They could Rise ult to Nash here. They could just go straight Rise ult to Nash, rush it down. What can Koi do if they burst it?
Top tier Winky Face as a side note as 113 and the rest of Astralis now burn through this one. Happy to give up what is just a normal Ocean Drake to the side of Koi in exchange for this Baron. Incredibly clean play from Astralis. Do not get baited into the bloodbath of a fight on the bottom side. Instead, focus on the objective. It is a trade.
Yeah, it's the power of Rise. What happens is if you have this avenue of mid and they come through here and you have Rise, you can always just Rise ult from mid to Nash because the distance is just way too big to gap close. So yeah, they lose the Soul, but that's going to be a massive push here coming in. All tier 2s are up. They should get so much gold from this.
And again, I think we have to give credit to Astralis. Obviously surpassed everyone's expectations in the winter split. Now in spring again, coming in this strong, bringing in a new player. Always a pleasure to see. Saw it from Vitality in the previous game with Upset, but Astralis really starting to feel more and more like a team that has to be respected, a force to be reckoned with. And in total control of this game right now.
Yeah, good macro. Gonna go 4-1 here. Leader has a TP to join his team. Renekton and Rise, not great on the group. They're both quite short range, but it looks like they value frontline over damage. I mean, the Rise can't really walk up and hit the towers. The pressure point is going to be bot. Let's look at Malrang here, because he's just sitting in a bush, waiting for this 4-1. He knows that the only pressure point is leader. If they don't check this bush, he can get a nice kick, and that's their engage. So Larson's basing, and they're probably calling here, let's drop mid, make sure you're ready for this hover on bot, because if we disrupt this push, this will put a stop in their game plan. But yeah, Malrang sees the Xayah hovering. He knows that if he goes for this, he's just going to die.
Sees the Nautilus there too. Obviously, as a fighting type, can do nothing to the Ghost Fire of Yonghoon.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Not going to follow me on the Pokemon? That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It was subtle. I tried to make it subtle because I wasn't sure if you follow me. It's fine.
Wait, which Pokemon?
It's fine. I can't, for copyright reasons, I can't say, but I'll just say Nautilus, you know. Candle. Chandelier. Looks similar.
Is it one of the first gens?
No, yeah, that's very recent. Very recent. They got loose in the recent years. He's just stay in first gen. Stay in first gen.
Stopped after
Every inanimate object is a Pokemon now.
Torchic, and then I'm out.
Toothbrush Pokemon, it's on the way. Promise you.
Blaziken.
There you go.
And then
Great.
I'm done.
There it is.
That's the last line.
Ooh, Shigenda jumping in, committing, flashing out here. Thought he might get Cassante sect back into the tower.
Sante sect.
Yeah, let's not do that one. That one wasn't good.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, that was not. That was just a lot.
It was a good one though.
Ah,
I
and
like the overlap.
there it is.
Oh,
Ooh, handshake. 1-1-3. Can just go up into the air here, but is holding on as long as possible, waiting for Malrang to kick in. Malrang now trying to find an angle as meanwhile Finn trying to 1v1 Shigenda off to the side. Hostile takeover is big. Leader should just get taken down here, but no, goes golden. Buys a moment. Now it's Finn off on the side lanes trying to get something done. Shigenda trying to split away from the rest of the team, and here comes Kabe. The damage is massive. Finn into the back line, and that is domination in the fight. Astralis take that one.
What a game from the Astralis lineup. Swap out mid, pressure all over the map. Gonna rise all the creeps here to make sure they can seal the deal. There's nothing that Larson can do. Koi never really stood a chance. So much pressure on the map. Astralis played it clean. No mistakes from them.
And honestly, you love to see it. What a triumphant return to Europe. The big stage from Leader. I mean, good to see. Again, this is a player who's people are always excited to watch, but not always for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I think so good that you can come out in your first game and have a performance like this. And on the opposite side for Koi, of course, it is just one game. But we've seen how those games can add up. We saw in the previous season how tight the race can become, so we'll just need to smile and look ahead to the next one. 2 more days ahead of them to try to find those wins, to try to find that redemption.
Best of ones, man. That's the reality of them. Great showing. Very one-sided game so far for us.
Yeah, wow.
Astralis playing it slow.
Wampa Stomps. We're digging deep into the